Hey, Doug, is there any chance the French president will get through where others have failed?
Well, there's always a chance. And look, and there is a feverish, in parallel with all of the sort of military movements and the deployments by the U.S. and the sending of weapons to Ukraine and all of the brinkmanship on that front, there is a behind-the-scenes feverish flurry of efforts, if you will, to find some sort of diplomatic off-ramp, a way out of this Ukraine crisis. The question is, so you're right, no one has seemed to have gotten through. It seems every day goes by, we're standing here with a new visit by some other high-level official to Vladimir Putin or to Kiev, knocking on their doors, trying to find a way out. Look, here's the thing. Macron has been, from the very outset of his presidency, someone whose signature sort of the style has been to reach out, dialogue, to adversaries, people with whom he often sharply disagrees. It's not because he loves these people. It's not because he wants to create friction everywhere. He just says that as president of the French Republic, he has no other choice as president but to engage with leaders of other countries, especially countries often that are as important as, say, back when Trump's U.S., he was criticized a lot for his buddy-buddy so-called relationship with Donald Trump, all the backslapping. Why was he doing it? A lot of his critics said, what does he get in return? Same thing with Vladimir Putin. He's met many times with Vladimir Putin. He's spoken to Putin 3 times in the past 10 days on the phone. So if anything, he is all for more talk, more engagement. We saw it in that report there. You know, basically, he believes in the absolute need to keep talking. Talking's better than going to war. But can he get anything done? Will Putin even listen to him? My sense is that Putin does, in a sense, respect Macron, although he sharply disagrees with him, doesn't see eye to eye with him. At a time when Joe Biden is perceived as being sort of enthralled, if you will, having to look tough, enthralled to the anti-Russia hawks, especially in the Republican Party in the U.S. So a lot of his actions, sending troops to Eastern Europe, to the countries of the NATO allies, sending the arms, all of that military rhetoric, a lot of that is a function of domestic politics. And I think that Putin realizes Biden's hands are tied behind his back a little bit right now. Boris Johnson, I think Putin considers a discredited joke, doesn't really see him as a real interlocutor. The New York Times quoted a senior official in the French presidency as saying Putin called Macron a quality interlocutor. That at least gives reason to think that Putin perhaps thinks that Macron is an adult in the room, someone he can actually engage with, even if he's not going to concede anything in the end.
Now, another European leader, the new German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, is going to be talking to Putin next week, but he is talking to the U.S. President Joe Biden today. What role does he have to play in all of this?
Why is Scholz heading to Washington while Macron is heading to Moscow? Very simple. Germany has been considered and has come under intense fire, not just among the opposition at home, but among especially Republicans in the United States and critics in the U.S., that all of a sudden Germany is seen as an unreliable partner in this showdown with Russia, a weak link in the efforts by the U.S. to rally Europe and its NATO allies in a united front against Vladimir Putin, warning him, if you invade or this will happen. Look, Germany's policy has been clear under Olaf Scholz. It says it will not send lethal weapons, and it has not sent lethal weapons to Ukraine. It even has prevented Estonia from sending German-made weapons to Ukraine. However, Germany has also made it clear at the same time, and this isn't being heard by some voices in the U.S., that it is very much on board with the idea of very swift and severe sanctions in the case of further aggression by Russia against Ukraine. And it has sent limited, not weapons, it sent helmets to Ukraine. And it's also become more forceful in its hints that Nord Stream 2 pipeline that runs under the Baltic Sea from Russia to Germany, which is not yet certified and not yet operational, that it could yet, if Russia were to invade Ukraine, pull the plug on that pipeline. So Germany, while perceived as an unreliable partner, is really going to the U.S. to reassure those in the U.S. and elsewhere, perhaps, that it wants to reassure them that it is very much on board with the Western line that thou shalt not invade a country that has its own sovereignty and territorial integrity. And if they do so, there will be consequences. This is a mission of reassurance, a mission to silence some of the critics who have said that Germany is unreliable.
Doug, thanks so much for that. France 24's Doug Herbert.